Hello everybody, welcome back to SpongeBob SquarePants Battle for Bikini Bottom. In last part, we said Kelp Forest can go suck a dick, so in this part
The park ranger saved us!
Yeah, so in this part we're going to what I consider the last level in the game, the Flying Dutchman's Graveyard, because it doesn't matter.
Dutchman's Graveyard!
I don't remember an episode where they sing it like that, actually, now that I think about it.
Well, I was more referencing the Dutchman's Treasure, but...
Oh, okay. Although, yeah, go.
So, isn't the Flying Dutchman a ship?
Yes.
Yeah, he does. He has a ship called the Flying Dutchman.
Flying Dutchman.
But
he is a Flying Dutchman.
Yeah, but he is the Flying Dutchman. So.
Okay.
Yeah. So he gets a much better representation in this game than his own game has, because Revenge of the Flying Dutchman sucks. I haven't gone too much into detail about that game, but I'll just kind of leave it at one thing. There's a secret exit outside of SpongeBob's house where there's a barrel where if you break it outside his house, then you can exit out his back door. At one point, you're locked into the house, and you need to exit the back door in order to leave and continue with the game. If you didn't know that you could break that barrel, or you simply forgot, you're soft locked, and there's no way to leave the house at all.
What?
Yeah, it's a weird instance of, it's not bad because it's not like made well. I mean, there's some wonky stuff to it, but it's like a 2002-2003 PS2 platformer, so of course there's some wonky stuff with it. But it's not like it's glitchy or broken or anything. It's just one of the most boring games you'll ever play in your life. So, you know. And the writing's also really bad, is the other big thing, because everybody's written really out of character. So, like, SpongeBob and Patrick get really angry about things for no good reason.
Oh,
and
what? I can't picture that.
Yeah, because they're not traditionally angry characters. Like, I mean, there are episodes
SpongeBob
where
could get angry, but...
There are episodes where they do get mad at each other and at other things, like, the what's it called? The Fry Cook games. Like, that's an example, but, you know, it's in a more low-key, petty, mean-spirited sort of way that doesn't... It's hard to explain without showing it, is the big thing. But the point is, the game's not that good, and I'm glad that this is a better level than
that. Kind of seems like the writers were some really basic-ass writers, because they're resorting to basic emotional responses rather than thinking about characters in how they would react in a human way.
You can't just have characters tell you how they feel. That makes me so angry.
What the fuck?
Futurama reference.
Right. That's another show that I need to watch more of.
That's on Netflix, right? Futurama?
Probably. I think so.
It's on one of the two main ones, yeah.
See, Netflix or Hulu. Yeah.
But because I know that Fox has its own streaming service now, doesn't it? Or
I don't think it's owned by Fox, though, is the thing now.
Everyone just make your own streaming services so no one can afford more than 2 channels.
You want BitTorrent to make a comeback? That's how you get BitTorrent to make a comeback.
I mean, on the other hand, though, do you want Netflix to have a monopoly on one of the most common ways of entertainment in the industry? Because that's how you get Netflix to have a monopoly.
You don't need... Look at the console market. You don't need more than 2 or 3 overall.
Yeah, I don't think Netflix even likes Monopoly.
I mean, nobody really likes Monopoly, to be fair.
Your house just comes with it.
Have you guys seen Monopoly Millennial Edition? It's amazing.
Yes, I have.
It's horribly insulting.
But it makes the tagline makes me laugh.
It makes you laugh for the wrong reasons.
Yeah, I know.
But it carries into the game as well, because in the game you don't actually get money because you're a poor millennial. Lol, 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 lol. So instead you collect like experiences or something.
Exposure.
Or like, I've never played it. This is going off what I've seen. But it did, however, lead to one of my favorite images I saw on Twitter once, which is like, wow, I can't believe they made both a millennials version and a baby boomers version, and then it shows the millennial box, and then after that it shows the cheaters version of Monopoly.
So yeah, where they start with all the property.
Yeah, I think so. So yeah. that was fun. But yeah, no, Monopoly sucks. I'm
know,
sure we'll have to play it at some point because
Monopoly is a fine enough game in its way. One of the things that kind of undermines it nowadays, though, is that 90% of people who play it play with house rules that they think are the actual rules.
Oh yeah, no two people play Monopoly the same way. Okay, I guess I should say no two families.
Because house rules make it interesting.
Well, that's the thing, though.
Playing by the actual rules means it takes way too long.
Okay, so
Yeah,
hold on. Question: does anybody ever do auctions? Because that's something that's in the Monopoly video games that I never did at all. Like,
Well,
I mean, you saw how it wound up in
in
Fortune Street.
Yeah, exactly.
The thing about the Monopoly video games, though, is that like much like the Dungeons and Dragons video games, all the things that would take like ages and ages to hash out in person, talking about it, and rolling dice and whatever, take like 0.2 seconds in the game. So the whole thing rolls along much faster.
That's true. Okay, so anyway, free parking. If you land on it, you get $500. Yes or no?
No.
I'm pretty sure that's a house rule.
Free
No, wait,
parking
no,
means
not
it's
the free,
free.
not
Free
the.
parking, land on go. If you land on go.
Okay, you see, I never. Okay, I actually misremembered my own house rules. It's all of the money that like property tax or whatever goes to free parking.
Taxes and all fees and taxes go under free parking. If you land on free parking, you get that. If you land on go, you double your earnings.
No, for me, the taxes and stuff were if you landed on go.
Man, you know what free parking is in the basic rules? Just free parking. You don't get anything. You just land on it and nothing happens. You're safe.
Yeah, no, but wouldn't you like free parking and there was a $20 bill underneath your front tire?
Okay, you say that, but like I found $200 when I was a kid on the ground outside a parking lot. I'm not kidding.
I think you just took someone's drug money.
It was just laying on the sidewalk. I'm like, okay.
Yes.
It's like, oh, someone left $200 here for me.
Yeah. So, but I mean, if you think about it, Monopoly is an even more luck-based game than like Mario Party. Because at least in Mario Party you have to win the mini games, whereas in Monopoly
you can actually be strategic on where you go and stuff.
Whereas Monopoly, there's only one route around the board, and it's just a matter of who gets the best dice rolls in the
That too. Although there is strategy involved in buying stuff and utilizing it, but
yeah, but
you have to be lucky enough to land on it
first.
Yeah. That's why I never found Boardwalk or Park Place good spaces, because nobody lands on those, so why bother even spending the money for
nobody
it?
lands on them to buy them, nobody lands on them to pay for them.
So anyway, the BrainScratch Comms Monopoly playthrough will happen in 2000.
We already did Fortune Street.
Yeah.
We need to go old school and play the PlayStation 1 version.
Oh, I still have that.
What, is there anything special about the PlayStation
Did I just
1
hear
version?
John volunteer to record?
Is there a story mode?
What? Single player Monopoly? What the fuck do you think I am?
John, have you seen the kind of playthroughs we've done on this channel?
Yeah, but it's just like there's certain thresholds we don't cross, even us.
I mean, I'm open to doing
We've
more
done
Fortune Street.
we've done some games 3 times, John.
I wasn't aware there were any thresholds beyond F-Zero GX, but
Well, yeah. Well, our mantra for the last 10 years, I would say, is never Devil May Cry 4. So
He's not entirely wrong.
yeah.
Yeah, it's okay. We'll just do Devil May.
We'll do 2 before we do 4 at this rate.
no, we won't. We really won't.
All right, John, you need to get on it then before Lewis gets to 4.
Nah, I don't think Lewis is in any rush. So.
Didn't Ryan record the original run of Devil May Cry 4?
I did, and one of the reasons we didn't do that is because I'm very bad at Devil May Cry games.
Yeah, I remember that. Ooh.
I remember when I tried to record Bayonetta. Oh man, that did not go well at all. I'm actually really glad that I didn't end up going through with it, because everybody would have hated me, because I'm not a big fan of Bayonetta, and watching me be really bad at that game would probably make people
Angry.
Angry, yeah, pretty much.
Probably better suited for Bayonetta 2.
I haven't
Makes
played
me feel
Bayonetta 2 because
It's
I 100% believe people when they say
Nope.
it's a better game than the original. It's just that I'm not interested in playing it, if that makes sense, because I don't think if I didn't enjoy the base gameplay of Bayonetta 1, I'm not going to really enjoy the base gameplay of 2, even if a lot
That's
of the
fair.
other annoying stuff is not as annoying.
Yeah, that's fair. The gameplay at its core is more or less the same. I would say a lot of things have been smoothed over in the second game, with one slightly annoying addition in that some areas are too gosh darn open for no apparent reason.
Well, is there stuff to do in them aside from just walk to the next fight? Because that was my biggest
some
issue.
stuff, some exploring, but it's a little excessive. Really, it just gives you a wide open area to run around as a panther in.
Yeah, and on Alfheim portals.
Yeah,
So
because that was one of my big issues with Bayonetta, is it felt like the time between fights was dead space. But you can't also just have fights.
like it literally became Dead Space, the space horror game.
That's a recurring issue in some of these action games where, well, sometimes that I want to borrow your term. Sometimes that negative space is a welcome thing because it helps to have a breather period between fights.
It's necessary. If you have just even this goes back even to like beat 'em ups as old as Streets of Rage or older, where the parts where the arrow blinks right, and you go, those are important because you can't just be mashing the button all the time, because then the repetition sets in even faster.
Yeah.
You need a breather point. It's just when they get long, when that time period grows longer than just a couple of minutes, and you're not doing anything else like puzzle solving or platforming or whatever, depending on the game, it just feels like you're actually wasting time as opposed to giving your brain and fingers a rest.
There's a reason why elevator sections have those momentary pauses.
That is the primary reason why Dante not having his own campaign levels in Devil May Cry 4 was such a slog. Because you're just going back through the same areas again without much different to think about. I mean, there were these stock generic teleportation fog portals in the jungle area. Ooh, such level design. But, yeah. Ugh. That entire half of the game sucked.
But you were playing as Dante, who's the way better character than Nero, because he's not Dante.
Okay, let me tell you the problem with that, okay? It only matters to people who mastered Devil May Cry 3 beforehand. And I don't just mean people who've played it. I mean people who've mastered it, who already remember how to do all of his moves and are ready to move on to the next level of mixing all four styles together at once. Without a learning curve, there's nothing to get new players into playing as Dante there. Ugh.
Yeah, you kind of just start at one of the harder levels to begin with.
Yeah, because Dante gets to keep all of Nero's Proud Souls. All of the points you spent on Nero's moves get refunded to you when you start up as Dante. So you had to play as Nero and learn your moves from level 1, and that allowed you to naturally learn how to play as Nero as you gain more moves. You see, there's a purpose to not having all your moves at the start. But Dante gets like enough points when you start as him to at least max out one style and maybe level up the other 3. So he's got too much stuff even before he gets his weapons.
Yeah, it's overwhelming, basically.
He doesn't have a campaign that's designed to teach you how to use his stuff either. He just starts in a room with some enemies and you fight. And you get a tutorial message about how to switch styles and all, but that's about it. So, yeah. It's pretty rough.
It's still better than Devil May Cry 2.
Oh, yes.
Right.
Yes. At least, okay, you start Devil May Cry 2 with everything Dante can do there, too. But that's more because Dante can't do fucking anything in that game. I mean, I tell a lie, his Devil Trigger stuff in 2 is conceptually interesting. I mean, you turn into a demon, you can fly, you have machine gun hands for some reason, and you have all these amulet things that change up the properties of your Devil Trigger. All of this is conceptually very good ideas, and I'd like to see it return someday in a game that actually makes use of it, rather than just having it and not having anything to do with it. But oh
yeah, the platforming here is hard.
yeah,
Basically.
yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah. I mean that section there is looks cool when you do it right, but it's really finicky because the wall jumping is not ultra precise.
Yeah.
So
I live for weird platforming challenges like that one. So
yeah. I mean the linear platforming in this section is probably some of the most interesting in the game because it's not over the top, but it's still challenging, I guess, is the thing. There's nothing that's like too outrageous, but it's just fun to do, I guess is the best way to put it. I'm not making too much sense, but whatever.
It's always satisfying to have an end goal and being able to reach it.
Yeah, that's why if you look at the data for something like Super Mario Maker, the stages labeled normal generally have better ratings than the ones labeled hard because people get frustrated at hard levels and don't like them as much, pretty much.